Hey, welcome back. Another day, another vlog. Friday edition. Friday COVID edition. Hope you're all well, getting ready for the weekend. If you're working, get to go home and chill out with the rest of the family or friends or roommates that are stuck home. Yeah, they're probably hanging for you to get home, someone to talk to and someone to get something new, just other than the online and on TV COVID mashup. It's 24/7, isn't it? So it's pretty full on. There's a fair bit happening up until this weekend, and hopefully this weekend it's not too bad, and I guess it's going to be another relaxing one with more restrictions and not much else happening out there. That was a bit happening over the last couple of days. So we're going to look at first a couple of tech stuff, and then we'll go into the bit of a COVID update. I'm trying not to make it too long today for that one. I did discuss it a fair bit yesterday, but I don't go too much into that. Now, last night I spent a fair bit of time until I started falling asleep at my desk again, my usual scenario, doing some editing on photos, and I did a little bit this morning, which was good, and I've got one of the compositions I did from my Bells and Old Tree Astro I've got a couple of killers from the Bells. Now you'll see it in the video, but I basically started at the Old Tree and it didn't work out, so I moved locations, and it turns out that's a great decision because I have possibly my best ever Astro photo out of this so far. So I've got some more from another one down the road. But doing the editing and stuff today, I think I've got 3 photos now I'm pretty happy with. 2 different compositions and then 2 from the one spot, but they're just a little bit different, and I've got a couple there I still want to look at and play with before I make a final decision. But yeah, wow, super good decision to move. And I think that's what I wanted to talk about today was when do you make that decision to move from a spot? If you've got a composition set up, you're happy with how it's going, you're either doing a video or you're doing something, and I guess sometimes you get that gut feeling where well, it's just not working. I don't think it's going to work. The clouds are coming, and for this example, I was waiting for these clouds to clear. I had a beautiful, beautiful location. The location was fantastic. The night was fantastic. I'd done all the right things, done all the research, all the weather checks. For some reason, this little band of cloud had come through, and it was just patchy, but it was enough to block any sort of decent image. So I decided to move on to my plan B, and that plan B in this case has worked out really, really well. So, and I guess that's a hard thing. Making that decision to move. Now it was only like a 15-minute drive. But it's like, is it going to be the same there? I'm going to have clouds there. It's like, what's the point? I might as well just give up and go home. Or do I risk it, go down, drive 15 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, go and have a look at this thing, get all the stuff out, go set up, and I've got the same problem, or is it going to be worth it? Well, in this case, it has turned out really good. Now, when I first got to this place, it was probably my first 20 minutes that I was able to get these photos that I really liked. Also from that, there was some cloud banding that did come through, but they actually, once you do the edits, they look a bit funky. So there are a couple others I'm looking at that I might have a couple of the same composition put in, because it's very hard to pick them because there's some funky little looks in there where some clouds mixed in with the colors of the Milky Way and stuff come up really well. But yeah, look, I'm super stoked about the photos, and yeah, I guess being able to make that decision, whatever you're doing, whether changing up or changing direction, and that goes through anything in life, is sometimes you get that gut feeling and it's hard to make that change. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there at the moment going, well, my job just booted me out the door with no issue, no help, no nothing. Maybe it's time to move on and try something different. Well, when you get 2 or 3 months up your sleeve, this is probably the best time to look at something you've always wanted to do or try. It's never been cheaper to do training. As I said the other day, there's a heap of online training. Skillshare's got I think 2 months, I think I said to you the other day, of free training online. So you don't even have to leave home. You can sit there, you can learn how to edit, do Photoshop or anything like that, learn how to do online film editing, business courses, all sorts of things, how to set up your own small business, how to do online marketing. If you're an Instagram and you want to get your brand, there's so much you can do right now while you have this time at home. Don't just waste it by Netflixing and chilling or just gaming for 2 months, because I guarantee you it'll bite you down the road, because this might be the chance for you to change everything and come out of this and go strong into something you've always wanted to do, or something you really enjoy, so then it's not really work. If you enjoy something, it's not work. Most of us work in a job. I don't know there's a diesel mechanic alive that loves getting covered in grease and 100 degrees Celsius oil. It's not a fun job, and it's not. Sometimes you enjoy it and the mental challenge and fixing machines, and that's great. But 90% of the time, it's a shit job, and that's why we get paid at average wages or above average wages, because we work on shit and it's crap. It's 50 degrees Celsius outside. It's bright sun, so you're getting sunburnt constantly. You've got snakes, lizards, dust. You're inhaling dust at record rates, but no one cares about it. Companies don't even test for that anymore. So it's not a fun job, but if you can find that job where you're excited and to go to work every day and you're making a difference to yourself or to someone else, well, then it's perfect. So this is that chance. Get out and do some training and do it. I think this is a perfect opportunity to go somewhere. I'm doing it. I'm doing everything I can now to learn as much about photography, Photoshop, Lightroom, and all those things that I use on a daily basis for my channel, which makes me super happy and I enjoy. And that way I get better videos for you guys, and maybe one day down the road when we hit 1,000 subscribers or whatever, I might be actually able to quit my job and come here full time. Maybe one day. Anyway, but yeah, I thought that was my thoughts on it. So, and I think that all come about from when I was looking at this decision to move, to change directions and go, right, this ain't working, I've got to go this way. And that's a simple decision like that. Now, taking photographs could end up in a way to change your life. So, rightio, over on some other news, Canon's Kyoyu service. So if you're unaware of that, Canon created this Kyoyu service. So all their Canon customers, you can basically rent and hire stuff off other Canon users that aren't using their gear. So if I've got a spare camera sitting here, and I can rent it out to someone that wanted to trial it. That way you sort of get a bit of cash back for your gear that's sitting around and gathering dust, I guess. And if you didn't want to just sell it, you still wanted to keep it for whatever reasons, but this gives you an option to make a little bit of money. Well, they've shut that down, obviously the COVID, for whatever reason, contact and meeting different people to swap gear. They're trying to limit that, so that's pretty much over at the moment. So I've just thought I'd give you a heads up on that. Now, we are in April. April's hit. So the NT $1 Million Fish, if you haven't heard of that, that's the Northern Territory every year for the last, I think, 6 years has done the $1 Million Fish. That's if you catch this red tagged barra between October and March, you win $1 million cash. It's an amazing tourism promotion and it's fantastic and I love it. I think it's brilliant. This year, again, not another $1 million fish wasn't caught this year, so that's good because I'm assuming they might carry that over again into next year's comp. So there's going to be 7 fish with a possible chance of you winning $1 million. So if you are thinking about a trip to the Territory October to March over that Christmas period, and that's probably not a bad thing after all this stuff happens. People want to get out and go and just get out in the wilderness for a little bit maybe and just have a holiday. Check out the Territory, Darwin, there's a million places you can stay. There's a million amazing barra fishing charters out there that you can go, so you don't need a boat, you won't need rods or nothing like that. You can just basically fly up there, go fishing, and you can come away with $1 million. So very, very cool. This year, 6 $10,000 fish. It's not just one fish that's $1 million fish. There's multiple, I think 100 and something $10,000 fish get released. 6 of them were caught, so 6 people won $10,000 cash straight up. So that was really, really cool. And yeah, so that's it. So if you go over that, check it out, themilliondollarfish.com.au. I'm not sure, they generally change the website up a bit. There's prizes even if you can't get to the territory. You can sign up and you can win eskies and barbecues and bits and pieces. Go check it out. They normally refresh it, so for the next season they'll redo it all up and then you re-sign up. But if you haven't heard of it before and you're thinking about going to the territory this year, well, this is a great chance for you, and why not? All you have to do is once you enter, you're safe. Then if you get that magical red tag or one of these other tag fish with the 10 grand, you could pay for your whole trip or pay off all your cards or whatever. So go check that out. It's an amazing, amazing thing, and I really, really support it. So it's very, very cool. Now, we talked about the Zephyrus, ASUS with the Zephyrus little G14 with the AMD chip in it. They're also bringing out another new Duo. So the Zen Duo, we know about that. That's that laptop with the bar down here. You got your screen and then the bar, then your keyboard, and that's like a touch screen where you could work on them. Fantastic for creatives. So if you're doing a Premiere Pro, which is a great example, you'd have your timeline down here and then all your other screens up there. So really nice looking computer. It's upper sort of echelon sort of cash flow. Well, they're bringing out a gaming version of that. So you can, it's a gaming, it's 240 hertz. The main screen's not touch, but this bar will be a touch screen, so you might have other stuff down there. You can read your chat boxes and stuff if you're live streaming, but definitely go check it out. This was a prototype the boys over at, I think Linus Tactics or their offshoot, I can't remember what it is, where they test all the gear. They got one of the first ones in. It's a tilt up, where the Zen was a sort of the fold back from the screen. When it folded up, it sort of lifted it up. Well, this sort of has a couple of big feet. Screen folds up, and then this little screen just tilts up on its own, and it's pretty solid. It's going to have a RTX 2080 Super in it, as well as an i7 8-core 10th gen Intel. No news yet. This is a prototype, so maybe they look at giving you the option of an AMD as well as the i7. So that would be a great little option for a lot of people, especially considering how well that G14 went. And it was amazing, so very, very cool. And that's about the tech side of things. COVID, I'll just give a quick update and then I want to do something. We hit a bit of a strange mark today. Worldwide, over 1 million people confirmed today have tested or confirmed positive of having this virus. So that's sort of a big mark. Australia, there was some positive stuff coming out of Australia today in the regards to we seem to, our cases seem to be starting to slowly come down. So the restrictions we've had on us all in the last 2 weeks seem to have made an effect to slow down the process, and that's what we want. We want to see that steady decline coming down. So that's really cool. So that's really good, and hopefully over the weekend we see more of a steady decline and we get some more positive stuff out Monday. Now there is vaccines currently in Australia, in Geelong. A couple of scientists and that are getting ready for human trials. They're in the process of doing they've got 2 basically options from the WHO that they're looking at vaccines. They've started the human trials, should be the end of this month. Early next month, so that's when they're looking at starting the human trials. They're currently in like the testing phase on the animals, so they're injecting them with this vaccine. They let it sit there for a couple of weeks, then they come and put COVID-19 in and see the effect. If that all goes well, early May we could see them punch it into human trials, and if across the world they're all doing the same thing. If they can get good positive results out of that, then they can move into the next stage, which is obviously manufacture, get it out to everyone. So yeah, some good positive stuff out of that today for the COVID. Now, got mail today, so that's pretty cool. This is for the Canon M50. There's a company called, and I have forgotten, hopefully they've got a tag in here. They make a extension, custombatterygrips.com. Custombatterygrips.com. They're out of Poland. Now they're fantastic. I think it's a 3D version they do for the Canon M50. You can buy, I think they do some Canon R stuff as well, but you can buy an extendable battery, so to extend that battery life out, and this will bolt on. So under my U-rig frame, this should extend on. You've got to buy the battery separate, which I've already got, so I can test this out. So there'll be a bit of a review coming on this through soon, but I thought I'd do a little unboxing for you on a Friday, something different. And there she is. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so that just bolts up onto the bottom of my camera, and then I put my little battery kit in. Get them out. I've got to work out how to pull that open. But yeah, a little battery set in there, and that plugs up in. Oh yeah, through there. So there's the false battery, and then put the new 1876 batteries in there, and that'll bolt on, and then I'll have pretty much, won't have to change batteries for the whole day. I can just let it go, which is probably really good for astro stuff. If you're doing like a big time lapse over an hour and a half, that'll smash out batteries. Now with this, I'll be pretty comfortable that it'll work. So I'll get that all set up. We'll do an install review video on that in the next week, and then I'll see if I can, I've got to get out to do some astro. I can't do it here, there's too much light. See how that goes. So yeah, custom battery guys, thanks very much. It's good to see that rock up, and I look forward to getting you some info on that and how it goes for the Canon M50. Rightio, that's it for another week. It's Friday. Hope you have a good weekend. Remember, if you're feeling a bit alone, FaceTime or Facebook Messenger, fantastic options to do a video call amongst your friends and mates. My brother had his birthday yesterday. We did there was 7 of us on one phone call or one FaceTime call, having a chat to him, and it was quite funny. And as family stuff, it's really cool. And I've arranged me and a couple of mates from Darwin that we're going to go on a fishing trip. Brother-in-law halves and Nidge, we're gonna do a bit of a FaceTime catch up and have a beer with each other on FaceTime. So if you're looking for something to do and catch up, give FaceTime. If you don't have an Apple Messenger, Facebook Messenger, you can do the same thing. Very cool, and it'll keep you all in touch. Stay safe this weekend. I'll see you all again Monday. Thanks for stopping by. See ya. If you're on that way, or that way, or that way, I'll see you Monday. Peace.